Ooh. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Hee. Okay, so what the fuck? I got bored out of my mind, and I decided to make a crossbow. So this is the crossbow I made. Now you're on a monopod, too much. But let's talk about the crossbow, because yeah, I was bored out of my mind, and I had a bunch of junk left around, and so I decided to make this crossbow. And I'm bored out of my mind. iBOOMM. iBOOMM. My iBOOMM. So basically, what it is it's an old bit from an IKEA lounge chair, or a bunch of old wood from an IKEA lounge chair, some half-inch PVC pipes that I had left over, some paracord. It's actually only fastened in a few spots, so I'm going to pull out the trigger because it's easier to handle without that. Up here, it's screwed in, and then the top prod is screwed in. Now, you notice the bottom prod is just kind of wired in place. It's actually wired loosely so that it can rotate when I shoot it. Because, let me see if I can hold you with my knees. When I pull this string back, by the way, this thing pulls at about 27 pounds. When I pull this back, I hope you can see that that front bow kind of rotates a bit. So that actually let me get a little more power. And as you can see, I hope, I've just connected these parts with duct tape, and then the actual string itself is just a double high string, which is good because this opening here is actually fairly big. When the bolt sits in it, now I'm going to pull the bolt out of my little zombie target, and it really only went in that far from pretty goddamn close. But this is also the first time I made a crossbow. When the bolt sits in it, it actually sits low, but it's held in place by these two little foamy bits. I also use those two little foamy bits back, or sort of two foamy bits back here, so that this has a little bit of give, a little bit of cushion, so that it can actually hold the bolt better, because the first couple of times I did this, I tried it with just the bottom bow. This bolt is too long, sticks out the end, falls off, because it's end heavy. But yeah, when I decided to put this on, I was like, fuck it, let's do a double bolt, or a double prod. So it actually works pretty well. It is a cast iron bitch to cock because of the fact that it's actually a relatively strong bow for such a short throat. Now you get to about here, which is, I put in a couple of thumb ramps just to help me out. And right around here is right where it gets to about 25 pounds, and you kind of pull it back another inch past that. So I put my thumbs on the back of the top section, and you can sit it with one bit up, but it's tend to let go. Oh, it's also easier to cock this thing without the trigger on. So I sit it down on a double. Put my fingers on it to make sure it's not going to pop up right now. Hopefully you can see that. So it sits like that. The trigger is just a bolt, a brass bolt in this case. But I just put a nut on the bottom so it can only go so high and not pop out. And then the actual tickler just slides in up here, and you can make your trigger as hard as you want by just moving it forward. I found this thing shoots like a bastard, so I put it way back here. So I'm basically holding back here and pulling the trigger. Ding, ding. Yep, that's it. I was trying to do a string version of a goat's foot lever, which I might do on a future crossbow. But yeah, that's it. The iBOOMM, because I bored. Hopefully this wasn't too scary with me being too close and using the monopod. But yeah, that's it for right now. spin you around and make you dizzy. Dizzy, yeah.